it is so exciting about the levels of health we can attain when we really optimize our gut microbiome. Now, actually, there's a microbiome in every single part of the body. And there's trillions of microbes on us and in us. Everyone thinks they're only in the gut, but it turns out that every single organ of the body has its own unique microbiome. The brain has its own microbiome, the skin has its own microbiome, your liver has its own microbiome, and everyone just thinks we have one microbiome, but we don't. And all these microbiomes, they talk to each other. They're having an ongoing conversation. I don't know what they're saying, but they're having an ongoing conversation, which is really exciting and intriguing. And how we live our lives, basically, has a major impact and major influence on our microbiome. There's chairs up here. So in preparation for tonight's topic, I decided to dive deep in understanding the microbiome. And I decided to start with the evolution. And it turns out that a lot of the microbes living inside of us were there before we were human. And they have actually found certain species of microbes in prehistoric permafrost. They have found it in amber, ancient amber. They found it in bees that were stored in the amber. And they found these very strange and interesting microbes that are part of us today. So it turns out these microbes predate us, and we're basically the carriers. We take them from point A to point B. Now, fine-tuning here. So we actually have trillions of microbes on our body. We have trillions in our body. And it turns out the microbes outnumber the human cells. So you've got more bugs than human cells. So for every microbe, for every human cell, there's 2 microbes. And these microbes are not constant. They're always...
I said round numbers.
Round number, totally. So these microbes are always in a flow state. And they're ebbing and flowing. And it turns out that when we're born, we have a unique set of microbes in our body. And as we age, those microbes change. Which is, people think, oh, I start off at point A and I go to point B. But it's always changing and evolving. It also turns out that babies have different species of